All right. So that took me about an hour and 8 minutes, and there were a couple of small mistakes in there. I had some flip problems. I had some rotate problems. I had a couple of pre-build problems. I don't know if anybody noticed. I'm sure you did because it was a pretty long segment. I had that one part where I'd attached elements to the body at the wrong location, so I had to move them out a little bit. There's some stuff where I'm gonna, triple check the instructions when I'm done, make sure I did everything exactly right. If I have any complaint about the instructions, it's so much dark navy blue. I have a bunch of lights on. I have a ring light on overhead. I have a light on in front of me, and I still had a little bit of trouble catching some of the nuance of the placement. There was a lot of kind of counting. I was really lucky that my local shop accidentally had this out. It was a big box store. Had this out, so I grabbed it right away. It really reminds me of the Blackbird that I had as a kid that fit the original TAS action figures. There are some things that I really like about this set, and there are some things that I'm a little. It's gonna take me a minute. And some of it probably is just like the design of the X-Jet of the Blackbird is a little strange in places. But for the most part, I think this is a great set. I think it's worth the money. Especially if you were waiting that long for an X-Men set like some of us, right? One of the things I really like about it is the weight is really good. The size is really good. The problem that we run into a little bit is the scaling. I think the scaling on this doesn't exactly fit with like the Daily Bugle or especially like Thor's apartment. This would have a really weird contrast to the Goat Boat from Ragnarok, which I recently built. It's even got some interesting scale issues with like if you were somebody who picked up the Celestials from the Eternals, right? You can see the scale here is a little funny, but it's nothing to do with this set. This set is really beautiful. It's just if you're like a diorama guy like me. I think one of the big things that I was really excited about this set for is the chance to have authentic official Lego people, little brickmen that are a little bit less dubious nature. I think that is one of the things that happens with having waited so long for the X-Men property. I have a few clones, and then I have a couple of the official released pieces. Like I already got the Wolverine in the Wolverine body build. I love that thing. The big figure Wolverine guy, right? This guy's a lot of fun. I had a different Cyclops, but this one's really cool. I maybe think that the hair is a little much. Like this is absolutely his secret mutation is secondarily giant flowing hair. So he's got to be careful about that. But for me, I really wanted it for the Rogue, honestly. She's such a great piece. Anybody who's a longtime X-Men stan knows that Rogue is like the heart and soul of the X-Men. And so having the opportunity to get this really great Rogue piece is really nice. I'll admit the hair snap angle is a little tough with the way it sits in front of her chest. So you might have to mind that a little bit. Right. And then from there, Magneto, I'm kind of famously weird about my capes. I like the soft, billowy cape a lot. It's a really nice piece. But I definitely think that the soft cape actually adds a little bit something extra because now he can fit in the jet a little bit easier. The hard cape sometimes doesn't fit quite right. As far as putting them in, right, one of the things that I really like is the hinge is really active and it's not like a sticky hinge at all. It moves really easily. So I'm going to see what happens when I put Rogue in the tactical position, right? Oh, she sits great. He's got to like really, had a little tiny hammer, right? She sits great. It's got a nice look to it. I like the way, because it's still going to close with her even in there, right? You get that nice seal look, right? That nice pop that you want that tells you that it's in there. It's closed, right? As far as the cockpit goes, right? I'm going to see how, I got room for 2 people in here. So I'm going to see how putting Wolverine in the back seat and putting putting Wolverine in the back seat and putting Scott Summers in front of him goes historically pretty well. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, you know what? There's just a little bit not enough room with Logan in the back due to the size of his helmet. I wonder if, admittedly, I have no problem with being involved, but Logan's not. So I'll be a little annoyed if this is the only way to make him fit, but not like set breakingly, Let's see what happens. Yeah, without his helmet, you can close it. So let's see if we can rearrange this a little bit. Maybe Logan's got to drive. Is Scott's hair too big for the back seat? Scott's hair fits in the back seat. Okay, so I guess we're saying that Scott is a back seat guy. All right, let's see if Logan fits in the front. One of the great things is they do give you the little claws for Logan. I bought that the big ones, the Mego guys that look like they're wearing themselves. I bought that Logan. He had an extra claw there, so it's nice that this one also came with an extra claw. It's somewhere in the pile of extras that I sort of tossed over there, right? I always get extra. I love that you always kind of get extra pieces from Lego. I think I've never had a piece missing, but a close friend one time did, and they got them out. Okay, yeah. You know what? If you just put Logan in the front seat, you can put Scott in the back because, like we said, Scott is a little bit more of a backseat boy, and Logan's NSYNC in the front. Turn the video off. Right. So then we got Magneto, and we can do a fine job kind of putting him anywhere. I think he'll fly overhead pretty nicely. There are some projectiles, but honestly, I'm not going to use the projectiles because I'm just going to lose them if I do. So you know what? Here we now have two guys in the front. We got Magneto flying on top. We got Rogue controlling the back of the X-Jet. I think all said and done, this model really has a lot going for it. I like a lot of the sticker placement as well. I'm actually going to, I think I'm actually going to move Magneto just so I can have him out here. The only real trick of this set, I would say, is going to be figuring out where you're going to put it when they eventually are crazy enough to release the mansion. And you're going to have to buy that too, right? I hope that we get more great sets from this show, especially with the Deadpool movie coming out real soon. You guys might have noticed I'm a big Deadpool guy, right? So, I think with that said, biggest negatives are you kind of can't really see anything inside the instruction booklet. It's just too dark. The navy blue is just too severe. But only other con I would really say this whole set gets is there's design elements that are maybe not design elements I would have put in the original thing. As far as pros, I love the quality of the design. It's a lightweight design, but it definitely has a lot of body to it. There's some weightness to it, but it's got that nice light feel, so it would sit on your shelf really well. I had no real problem with the connections. As a matter of fact, I'm going to admit, the first thing I did as soon as I finished building this was I promptly dropped it on the floor twice. It actually got caught on my sweater the first time, and the second time I'm just dumb. So I've already dropped this thing twice. And, I actually was able to not just find every piece, but put it back together really well. I didn't even need the instructions. Everything went back together. I'd realized I'd missed sticker number 10. I got that on in the reconstruction, right? It actually was, you can actually see one of the scuffs from where I dropped it, unfortunately. But this was, just such a satisfying build. I've done the Daily Bugle. I've done, so many of the sort of like smaller Marvel sets. I've done everything Ghost Rider. This really ranks above some of the Ghost Rider figures. Robbie Reyes is one of the best builds ever. I know I've got pictures of him up on my stuff, but that car just isn't special. The Johnny Blaze is a little bit nicer, being the big motorcycle, but again, it doesn't have that exactly Ghost Rider feel the way this has exactly an X-Men feel. I would maybe do a little bit of sleekening, because even if I have stuff a little bit wrong, this opening in the top is a little bit funny. I would probably want just a little something to close that, but I recognize that it would prohibit the hinges from moving. Maybe a piece that comes on and off for you people who like me, for people like me who want that seamlessness. But all said and done, I love this. I think it's great. For those of you who are crazy enough not to love Rogue, you'll be able to mod her into a Phoenix pretty easy. For those of you who already have one of the Wanda figures from the number of sets that smartly included Wanda, she'll make a nice piece to put with the Magneto. The other thing is you could probably even do the Scott without the too much hair, because Scott does tend to have that, closed head top thing. But it's really up to you. So I guess, last con, maybe a little bit more annoying to build than I would have hoped for. Pros, the minifigs are great. The design is great. The look is great. The overall, I guess it was easy to build, even where it was tough to read. It's going to look nice on a shelf, and it's a complete piece for any X-Men fan. If you've been waiting for X-Men to come to Lego, this is the gentle toy for you. So from me here at Action Headquarters, cannot tell you how much I loved building this and how much I'm going to love playing with it, and how me and these guys are going to be coming at you all year long with some amazing new Lego sets, especially as they're dropping them for X-Men 97, hopefully some stuff for Deadpool, and I will talk to you guys soon. So 3 things you got to do. Number 1, got to stay brick safe. Got to stay. I don't even know how to make this brick related. I don't have anybody to bounce off of. I don't have the amazing Kevo who's producing this awesome video, or TK who helped me visualize it and come up with it all. So until next time, from all 3 of us, stay safe, be brave, evolve daily, build big, and we'll see you.